My Stanley Cup prediction will not happen. I projected the Flames and the Hurricanes to meet in the finals, but the Flames failed to make the playoffs. With that being said, I'm not confident in my prediction anymore for the Canes to win the Cup. I do think they can still go deep, but they're missing some top guys due to injury. It's pretty clear who everyone has winning the Cup this year. Boston. A final matchup I would love to see is the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Boston Bruins. It would be incredible if they faced off against the Golden Knights. The former coach, Bruce Cassidy, versus his former team and replacement. My first bracket, I have the Bruins playing the Dallas Stars in the finals. Ultimately, the Bruins would win, but a Final Four of Dallas, Edmonton, Boston, and Carolina would be terrific. I mean, you can put any of these 16 teams in the Final Four, and it would be great hockey to watch. Since everyone has the Boston Bruins winning the Cup in their brackets, I've decided to make a second bracket with a different outcome. Starting off my second bracket with the Bruins versus Panthers series. This series will be feisty, and the Panthers will attempt anything and everything in the book to throw the Bruins off their game. Although the regular season head-to-head battle between these two teams was tied 2-2, I think the Bruins are just too good, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the distance. Next up in the East is Toronto versus Tampa Bay. Toronto advancing to the second round. If they can achieve this, I think they'll have a piano-like weight fall off their back and make it to the finals. The momentum and morale from finally making it out of the first round might just be what the Leafs need in order to beat this dominant Bruins team. It certainly would be a tall task and probably a miracle if the Leafs beat the Bruins in round 2, but in order to be the best, you have to beat the best, and it starts with Tampa in the first round. The Lightning will be a tough out for sure, especially with Big Cat in goal. Last year, Toronto was 1 goal shy from advancing to the second round, so I think something will give this year, and the Leafs will expose the Lightning. For the Canes versus Islanders series, I see the Canes' speed, depth, experience, and healthy goaltending, with Frederik Andersen being too much to handle for the Islanders. The Islanders play hard and have experience, so they'll put up a dogfight. This series will likely go to 7 games. There are rumors that Barzal will return from missing the last 23 regular season games due to injury, which is very significant because he drives the Islanders' offense. If Sorokin can get hot and into a rhythm, the Islanders could sneak into the Eastern Conference Finals or Stanley Cup Finals. This team is built for the playoffs, and the Canes have their hands full. Devils versus Rangers series will probably go 7 games and be very tight. I have the Devils coming out on top and winning this series. Despite my concerns for their goaltending and experience, which the Rangers have both of those, going to the Western Conference in the Avalanche Kraken series, I see the Avs being a bit too much for the Kraken. Although the Kraken took the regular season series, I see the Avalanche advancing, but I wouldn't be surprised if this series went 7 games. Seattle's lineup is very solid. All their players play their roles well. In my opinion, they have a lot of similarities to the 2018 Vegas squad. In the Dallas-Minnesota series, I'm taking the Stars. Despite the Wild having a great goalie tandem in Fleury and Gustafsson that could catch fire, I just think the Stars are going to overpower them with their offense. Next series, I have the Knights over the inconsistent Jets. Hellebuck would literally have to stand on his head in order for the Jets to advance, and I don't think that's happening this year. Although I really like what the Kings have built, I just can't bet against Draisaitl. So for the second consecutive season, the Oilers will bounce the Kings. Going back to the East, starting off the second round is Boston versus Toronto. Boston has put the dagger into Toronto too many times. Therefore, I have the Leafs giving Boston a taste of their own medicine, especially with the year Boston just had. Who better than the Leafs to ruin the party? If this is how it plays out, as the Bruins have had their way with the Leafs recently in the postseason, it would be so ironic. Canes versus Devils. If this series happens, the Canes would advance to the Eastern Conference Finals due to experience and Freddie Andersen. Going back to the West second round would consist of the Stars versus Avalanche. This matchup would see the defending Cup champions being eliminated. Here's why. Jake Ottinger will probably be playing lights out like he did last postseason, and the Avs had dealt with some injuries to key players like Makar and Landeskog this year. It also has been a long season for the big dogs, so they'll be bounced by the Stars. Other West second round series will be between the Knights and the Oilers, or the real headline Eichel versus McDavid. The Oilers took care of the Knights during the regular season, but the Knights were without star player Mark Stone, who will be returning. Also, Eichel is making his postseason debut, so he might be all jacked up and ready to go. No pun intended. Once again, like the regular season, the Oilers will take care of business and complete the objective and reach the Western Conference Finals for the second consecutive year. The Eastern Conference Finals will be between the Leafs and the Canes. The Leafs will face their former goaltender Frederik Andersen, so they'll know all of his tendencies and weaknesses. Since the Leafs just knocked off the Bruins, it could make them or break them, but I think it will make them reach the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 1967. The Canes would put up a fight, but at this point, the Leafs will be too dangerous. In the Western Conference, the Stars will play the Oilers. This series is very difficult to choose who wins, mostly because I don't want to bet against Mick Draisaitl. However, I think the Stars will gut this series out like the last round against the Avalanche. The Stars have had a terrific year and kind of flew under the radar. In the Stanley Cup Final, I have the Stars versus the Leafs. The Leafs have had a tremendous run, but all good things must come to an end. They'll run out of gas, making the Stars your 2023 Stanley Cup champions. Let me know what you guys think about my bracket challenge in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you're not supporting the channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.